There's a place where stories don't begin. They're assigned. A city of neon halos and unpaid debts, where everyone plays a role, whether they picked it or not. One kid grew up behind dust storms and border patrols, one behind bars, fixers and neon saints, one behind a desk, until the desk turned on them. 3 paths, 3 dreams, 3 ways to believe you were free. But Night City doesn't care who you were. It only cares what it can sell you. A promise, a label, a reason to keep going. But sooner or later, the mask cracks, and you realize you didn't choose this story. It chose you. So tell me, what's your story? Before Night City, there was sky. No noise, no neon, just turbines humming in the dusk, radio static riding the wind, and the smell of oil-thick air soaked into your leathers. You didn't grow up with walls. You grew up with horizons. The Badlands were your Bible. And the road? That was the only truth you ever prayed to. Your first kill wasn't in some alley. It was beneath a blood-orange sky, your hands shaking on the wheel, vultures already circling above. Nomads called themselves family, but family meant something different out there. Not blood, not loyalty. Motion. A bond forged in busted engines, burned rubber, and battles fought side by side for no reason but survival. You told yourself it was freedom, that the clans were righteous, that the city was poison. But something cracked. Maybe it was the Aldecaldos brokering with Corpos they swore to hate. Maybe it was watching the next generation turn tribal pride into glorified courier gigs. Or maybe it was just you, tired of breathing dust and dying for honor you never chose. So you packed up, ditched the crest, and crossed the checkpoint. Night City didn't welcome you. It processed you, scanned you, tagged you, stamped your entry like a defective shipment. The wind stopped, and the silence wasn't sacred anymore. It was sterile. You thought the streets might offer something new, but all they offered was static. Noise, noise and debt. Fixers with soft hands selling dirty gigs like they meant something. Out here, your boots leave no tracks. Your name means nothing. And your engines roar? Just another echo drowned in neon traffic. You miss the mornings, the burnt coffee, the sand turned gold under sunrises no one ever looked at twice. Back when silence meant freedom, not failure. Now, Jackie says legends are made in this city. You smile, but it's a desert smile. Tight, tired. Panam still believes the road leads somewhere, but you know better. In Night City, even freedom is just another brand. And no matter how far you drive, the ending is already waiting at the border. You weren't raised near Night City. You were baked in it. A slow boil of neon signs, burning trash, and ramen broth gone cold under flickering lights. The bar stools knew your name. So did the debt collectors. So did the punks who stabbed you, then helped patch you up when they realized you had a better crew. Street kids didn't dream of leaving. They dreamed of mattering. Because out here you learned quick. Rent's a scam, friends are seasonal, and loyalty is just another hustle wrapped in street slang. You grew up on second-hand chrome and first-degree trauma. You got your wisdom from Joy Toys, bartenders, and the kid 2 blocks down. You sold implants before you hit puberty. But between the scams and the scrapes, you held on to something dangerous. A vision, not of escape, of of conquest. You weren't trying to find yourself. You were trying to make yourself impossible to ignore. A name in the afterlife, a face in legends, a gig so clean even Rogue raises a glass. Every job you took bought you seconds of respect. Every betrayal taught you a new way to fake trust. And every night you sat under a dying neon sign and whispered to yourself that it was all leading somewhere. Maybe it was. Then your crew vanished. Your fixer ghosted you. Your favorite noodle bar became a laundromat for stolen cyberware. But you didn't quit. Street kids never do. You flirted with death, bribed your way through life, and smiled like chrome doesn't rust. Because deep down, you believed that if you just hit it big enough, one gig, one job, one body drop, the city would finally look at you and say, that one matters. Jackie saw it too. Not a thug, not a dreamer, a survivor, a star still climbing, bright enough to blind itself. But here's what they never tell street kids. Night City doesn't crush your dreams. It sells them back to you. Digitized, dramatized, and archived in 4K, right before the lights cut out. You weren't hired. You were architected, polished, poised, precision modded for meetings you couldn't yawn in. You didn't climb the ladder. You were the ladder. Until one day, someone higher up decided you were loose wiring. Your life path begins where others peak, floor 121 of Arasaka Tower. Panoramic views, expensive air, the illusion of altitude. You thought you were immune to bloodstains, until your name got flagged in the system you helped build. See, in Corpo world, the language isn't lies, it's leverage. Smiles aren't friendly, they're transactional. Even the sex feels like a merger. You knew this. You played the game, perfected the mask, watched your empathy get reassigned to non-essential functions. Because you weren't supposed to feel. You were supposed to perform. And you did. Until one executive nodded the wrong way, and suddenly you weren't an asset. You were a liability. Then came the crash. Your access revoked, your creds frozen, your purpose erased. Welcome to the streets, where nobody cares how many quarterly projections you hit, only that you're bleeding in a suit too clean for this side of town. You stumble into El Coyote Coho with a neurotoxin hangover and a 1,000-yard stare. Jackie doesn't ask for a resume. He asks what you're drinking. And for the first time, the silence doesn't feel like a waiting room. It feels like rebirth. You don't become a merc to survive. You do it to remember what autonomy tastes like. Even if it's cheap tequila and a half-smoked cig. Because now, you're off script. You speak fluent Corpo, but every gig, every backstab, every overwritten directive is personal now. Revenge isn't the mission. It's the new business model. And this time, when the tower burns, you won't be inside watching. You'll be the one lighting the match. Three life paths, three dreams. Freedom on the highway, fame in the streets, power in the tower. But this city doesn't deal in dreams. It trades in roles. And no matter where you started, you ended up here, doing gigs, answering calls, running through the same missions with different scars. You thought you picked a story, but what you really chose was a wound. The Nomad flees a broken tribe. The Streetkid hustles to matter. The Corpo clings to order, afraid of chaos. You didn't choose a future. You inherited a trauma. A role dressed up as identity. A myth sold to you by a system that needed more bodies in the queue. Because in Night City, freedom is always framed in neon, but the wiring underneath, it's the same script. You're not here to escape, you're here to serve. Until one day, maybe, you stop playing along. Because the only real decision in Night City isn't where you start, it's when you finally decide to burn the script.